Hi everybody, I'm Sean. I'm here interviewing my dad on the event known as the Miracle on Ice. So to start things off, how old were you during the 1980 Winter Olympics?
I was actually just about your age. Um, when I grew up, my family had a tradition, and as soon as everybody turned 16 in their 16th year, they went individually with my parents to California on a vacation. And that happened to be, that game happened right when we were out in California.
What sports were you involved in as a child and as a teenager?
You know, I played the traditional sports, basketball, football in grade school, but my family had a cottage that we spent our summers at, and I also skied a lot during the winter, so we were a big snow skiing, water skiing family, and that conflicted with the team sports, because football would start in August when we were still up at our cottage, and basketball was during the winter, during the ski season. And my coach, when I was in like 7th grade, knew that I was skiing a lot, and he just said, you gotta make a decision. Do you wanna ski or do you wanna play basketball? And I had been skiing a lot longer, and I was a much better skier than I was a basketball player. So I decided to ski.
Were you ever interested in mainstream sports such as football, baseball, and basketball and hockey to the extent of carefully following the sport daily or weekly on like a fan basis?
Yes, I was fortunate. My family had season tickets to the Packer game, to the Milwaukee Bucks, to the Brewers. So we went to a lot of the events, and I followed them as a fan. I wasn't a fanatic following the minutia of all the statistics and all that stuff, but I enjoyed going to the games. Unfortunately, most of the teams weren't that good when I was growing up, but went to a lot of games.
What events were you most interested in heading into the 1980 Winter Olympics? Was hockey one of them?
No, hockey was under the radar screen, other than it was just being one of the sports. We weren't anticipated to do that well. But by the time, I can just remember distinctly being at the hotel with my folks, it was big news and everybody was watching that game. At least that's what I recall. I don't think we just sort of happened to watch it. I think it was like, this is going to be a big game because it was leading up to it. They were already well beyond where they anticipated to be, so they had garnered attention. But the typical sports of skiing and skating and all that thing, all the bobsledding and all those were more the mainstay.
What was your most lasting memory of the game itself?
You know, I just think the whole storyline behind it, the fact that they weren't picked to go anywhere, and it's like the NCAA Final Four or whatever, when the teams all of a sudden they keep going and then the momentum builds, and when it had built to that level and we were such an underdog, that's pretty unique, that's pretty rare. And so to see it, and I guess they delayed the broadcast, but we didn't know that. We watched it as if it was live, and I don't remember them telling people that during the game, but it was live as far as I recall. It was just one of those amazing sporting events to witness.
Pure emotion,
Right.
watching the game. Did you notice any cultural changes to your life or the lives of others around you after the U.S. won the gold medal in hockey?
I would say that there was more of just there seemed to be a warming between Russia and the United States rather than the opposite of it getting worse. I mean, the Cold War seemed to be thawing, and Reagan was in office and he started parlaying all that. I don't remember exactly the timeline, but I would say from my recollection that game did a lot to bring together the arch enemies of Russia and the United States more than break it apart.
Did the Miracle on Ice change the way you viewed hockey?
I would say so. Obviously, it became a popular thing to watch after that because it just garnered people's attention. There was the Milwaukee Admirals are I don't even know what league it is, but they're in the drop down below the NHL, and they never have done, they're sort of a feeder team to the NHL. I may have gone to one Admiral game in my years, but my older brothers went to University of Wisconsin, that I ended up going to the same school, and even in the 80s, 70s and 80s, the Wisconsin hockey team was one of the better teams at the school in terms of all the sports. So that was really the hockey that we followed. And then when I went to Wisconsin and, I graduated in '82 from high school, hockey we were winning the NCAA pretty regularly. So that was fun.
So there wasn't an NHL team in Wisconsin that you followed growing up?
No.
So it really wasn't that big of a deal in
Right.
Milwaukee?
And I knew of the Blackhawks, but didn't favor them any more so than the Minnesota North Stars that are now the Dallas North Stars or whatever. So, but hockey definitely seemed to garner more recognition after that. Miracle on Ice.
Mm-hmm. Did the Miracle on Ice change the way you viewed your country?
It definitely created a tremendous groundswell of patriotism, and they made movies about it, wrote books, and I think it was very powerful from that perspective. I would say, from a relative basis, the company sort of gelling after the 9/11 terrorist attack would be similar to in my mind's eye, that the country really gelled together and became a better place. It's a little different. The hockey game was obviously just a positive, there's no negative parts about it, versus the 9/11 was a reaction to a terrorist attack on us. But both of them showed the resolve of the country. That was pretty cool.
Since the Miracle on Ice, have you felt as passionate towards a patriotic event such as an election and a war?
I guess that would be the whole 9/11 reaction. Again, that was a pretty powerful reaction, even though it was a negative event. The way the country came together in support of who we were and what we were was pretty amazing.
Alright, well thank you for your time.
Great, good luck.
Thank you.